name is Stephen Rafferty, and you're watching / listening to These Are Questions. This is the interview show where I ask people questions about things, life, and such not. And today we are here in the studio, and we're interviewing various talents here for the season 8 that we're going along here with this show. And I am with a very talented actor, performer, and I'm going to learn so much more about her in today's episode. Please welcome Shanice Archer.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh, that was very nice of you.
Oh, you're welcome. I try to do intros, you know. I try to. A little bit.
Hey, it's Shanice Archer, and I'm very privileged to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being a part of the show, Shanice. I really do appreciate it. We're going to get right into our interview itself here on These Are Questions. Shanice, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. It's going to be based around your career and aspirations, along with a mixture of questions that are borderline idiotic and, well, randomly stupid.
I'm here for it.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. We got the consent right on there. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm just going to ask one more real quick. Are you ready?
I am ready, Freddy.
Okay. Internet audience, are you ready? I can hear it. I'm going to take it as a yes. I'm going to take it on. I hear it may be a little bit quiet, but that's because they're always cheering from everywhere.
I love that. I love that.
With that, let's begin our interview. So, as mentioned in the intro, you are a very talented actor, and you are really a world-renowned actor. I've had the chance to see a lot of your works and got to do a little bit of research and just see some of the projects that you've been working on and have worked on in the past. And we're going to talk about it more in our episode today. But you are a multifaceted talent, and you're welcome. And you've had to work on a variety of different projects. I just want to talk about your early experiences getting into the acting realms and kind of your inspiration behind becoming an actor.
You know what? I originally started as a dancer. So I was in dance classes from 2 years old. From 6 years old, I started modeling in dance catalogs and whatnot. And from there, they were like, you should probably get her into commercials, adverts. So from 8, that's when I entered the advert world, the commercial world. I think my first commercial was Lowe's. As a kid. And from the commercial world, I was like, I want to be in front of the camera more. I want to do this more. And it just kind of naturally progressed. It was never like, hey, I want to be an actress. It was always just the natural progression of where that stemmed from being a professional dancer.
And that's really cool. You started as kind of a professional dancer, kind of moved into the commercial realm and moved into projects. Do you want to dive a little bit on your dancing career a little bit? Because I want to learn more about that.
So when I was 8 years old, I entered a professional dance company called the Untouchables down here in South Florida. From 9, I actually danced for the Miami Heat. They used to have a junior jam squad. So for a couple of years, I was a junior jam dancer. And that was up until I was about 11. I started taking music lessons as well to help aid with the acting progression and whatnot. And that's when I started to leave the dance world a little bit more and go heavily towards musical theater, singing and acting. And so I am really thankful for that start. It gave me a lot of confidence to be able to go on the stage. I mean, dancing at the Miami Heat Stadium, that's
yeah, I mean, that's
be scared there.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay, maybe just a little bit of pressure.
Tiny bit.
Okay, maybe there might be some pressure. Okay, maybe a lot of pressure.
A lot.
But that's incredible that you had that in such an early stage of your career, and it kind of led into a lot of different projects and get you into that confidence and that ability to be that talent, which is awesome.
Yeah, like once you have a fall in front of thousands of people at that stadium, you can have a fall anywhere else.
Ooh, that's a good quote. Have that on the quote on there. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. And that's awesome. And I want to dive a little bit on some of your acting roles that you've been a part of, and specifically more or less on the independent side first, because I wanted to know some of the pivotal roles that you've did on that independent scene before you jumped into more of the national projects that you've done, which we'll dive into on our interview.
Yeah, so from a very early stage, it was always kind of a mix of indie projects and national projects. I did my first film when I was 13 for Lifetime Television. It was Blue Lagoon, while simultaneously doing student films still down in Miami and short films. One of my favorite short films that I did was when I was 14. It was Some Things. That was an independent project, but it went on to premiere at the BAFTA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it really showed me that, regardless of the production, indie or not, you can really take your craft where you want to go. So that gave me a lot of inspiration to just keep feeding the craft.
Mhm. Absolutely, and that just leads from one project to another, and it just
Mhm.
builds up your repertoire. And I can see it in your craft from reviewing your research and just seeing some of the projects you've been a part of, and just seeing some of the national work that you've done.
Thank
And
you.
I think you know where my question is going to lead into the next thing, because for those who do not know, Shanice has been in a very incredible program. You may have heard of it. You may have heard of it. It's called, Star Wars. Pretty big. Just saying,
Yeah.
And you were on Star Wars: The Acolyte, which is really awesome. Congratulations on
Thank
that
you so
project.
much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you played a unique and important role in the show. Could
Mhm.
you dive a little bit into that role that you played into, and just talk about like your overall experience being a part of the show?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So if you don't know, The Acolyte is a twin story about Osha and May. So Ocean May is played by Amandla Stenberg, and she's not a twin. They need someone to act with her. So I came in as an acting double. So when
Okay.
you see her acting with her twin, she's acting with me.
Ah.
When all the other characters are acting with their twins, with both of them, I'm going to be there as the twin. That was a really unique and interesting experience. I'd never acting doubled before.
Mhm.
But it was really just the same as acting. It was taking on the script, taking on the character, learning what fight sequences I had to learn, and Star Wars is just an amazing universe. I thought I knew what I was getting into until I was on the job and I was like, oh my gosh, this is bigger and more amazing than I could have ever even thought of. The practical sets alone,
Yeah.
the building of worlds, the greenery for Kofar, the jungle of the forest of Kofar, it was out of this world, and it really allowed me to dive deep. My first week, I was acting with Carrie Ann Moss,
Oh wow.
and never did I think I was going to act with Miss Trinity from The Matrix.
What are the chances?
I know, right? And it's like from that little girl that was doing Blue Lagoon, because when I did that movie, all my scenes got cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that happened. Even though I got to meet Denise Richards, and I was like, oh my gosh, she likes my hair.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Tangent. I got to sidetrack. I got to know that story a little bit there. You brought it up. Now I need to know.
Yeah, no, we'd be like, so Denise Richards played the mother of Indiana Evans
Yes.
in Blue Lagoon. And I remember one of my first, it was like my second day on set, like walking into the hair and makeup
Mhm.
trailer, not fully understanding, because it was my first film, like who was going to be there, what I was going to do. And then just Denise Richards pops down next to me, starts talking about my hair. Oh my gosh, you've got lovely hair. That's always stayed with me. And every time I'm on a big set and I sit in a big makeup trailer and I'm sat next to all of these incredible people, I genuinely can't help but remember Denise Richards. She probably doesn't even remember me, but Denise, oh my gosh, hats off to you. I'll always remember how lovely you were to me.
Yeah, we're gonna send this episode to her. We're gonna send it to the agent and everything. And be like, hey, reference there. Let's go. And as someone who has similar hair background a little bit, I respect your hair, and your hair is quite lovely.
You have great hair.
Oh, thank you. We're matching together here.
We are.
On These Are Questions. Twinsies. Yes. Let's go. See, with the shirts too, with the color
Pink,
similar.
pink.
Think about it intentionally. It's how it goes. But that's awesome. And to kind of go back with Star Wars there, I'm glad you had such an incredible experience working on the show, and you got to work in different countries with the project.
Yes.
Have you ever like traveled around the world in the sense of like being a world traveler and been around before, or was this like one of your first experiences with it, or like I want to know more about that a little bit.
Yeah, so acting has taken me to different places,
Okay.
but never has one job taken me like around the way that did. Don't get me wrong, we did spend a lot of time on sound stages in Shenfield
Okay.
in the UK.
Yes.
But we had the opportunity to go to Madeira, island off of Portugal. And oh my goodness, if you get a chance to go, Madeira is a beautiful country. They had like these, I can only call them like sleighs. It's probably not called a sleigh, but they had like these sleighs pushing us down the road. It was like a little tourist attraction.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. They have the most beautiful flowers, but also to shoot in locations where you're just captivated by the beauty. There was a couple episodes where we had to shoot in the mountains.
Oh
And
wow.
we were above the clouds. So I could look down and it was clouds, and like the moistness from the clouds would get into your hair. And all I could think is like, oh my gosh, I would have never been able to see this had I not chosen this profession, had I not booked this job. I wouldn't have been able to experience such great things. We were eating raw garlic from the ground. Like there was just random free garlic on the like growing. So we just started picking it, eating it. We were so close to the sky that even the water coming down from the rocks just started putting our hand out and drinking. It was that
Oh,
pure.
that's cool.
Like,
That's
was
cool.
amazing.
Yeah. That's a one of a kind experience
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, really hot, but you know, it was worth it.
There you go. Another notable quote on there.
Yeah.
Really hot, but it was worth it. That's awesome, and I'm glad I got the chance to watch some episodes and got to see the character development there, which is really cool. And I'm so excited for you to have more authentic and amazing projects coming your way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The acting chops are there, and that's if you're having that role right now. Who knows what's going to be in the future coming up? I hope. I will. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I will. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So to switch gears from Star Wars, I want to talk about your last name. Your last name is Archer.
It is.
I want to ask, could you compete in an archery competition?
You know what? I'm pretty confident. I went to a Renaissance fair when I was younger.
Okay.
First time, hit bullseye. I think it's the name.
I think it's in the name.
It's the name.
That was the same thing with me. I went to a recent Renaissance fair maybe a couple of years ago, and I never touched archery at all. And they gave it to me, and I was like, this is not a good idea. But then I looked at it, and I did the same thing. And I hit a bullseye first try. So
You know what? Maybe we're just special. Maybe we just got it like that.
I think we do. I don't know. I'm just saying there. So, okay, good to know. You already have your chops on there. So, world-renowned actor and world-renowned archer.
Add that to the resume.
Add it to the resume right here. There we go. And you mentioned London in our interview so far, and I've never been to London, at least not yet. Maybe in the future. But I wanted to know, what was your favorite London-based delicacy?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm British as well. My mom's from England, so I did grow up on the food. I might be completely biased.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, shout out Mummy Linda. I don't want to be basic and say like a full English or roast. I think everybody loves that.
Okay.
But maybe going a little bit deeper, I love a shepherd's pie.
Shepherd pie is
I
underrated.
love a shepherd's pie.
A good one?
Yes. Or just like Yorkshire puds by themselves. I'm one of those people that can have like 4 frozen Yorkshire puds with a little bit of gravy as a snack.
I've never had that.
A Yorkshire pudding, you have to have a Yorkshire pudding.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to try it. I have to go find a place.
Everyone has to try a Yorkshire pudding.
Okay. I will try. I will find a place that has it.
Come over. My cooking's not so great, but maybe I'll get the frozen ones.
Well, I could cook, so hey, we can make it happen. We could learn from each other here. Okay. Bet. We'll make it happen. But thank you. I like the different delicacies there, and it is a unique country, and you never know. Never say never. It could be over there sometime in the future.
Yeah, come on over. London's great.
Ooh, okay. Good to know. Let me ask you, could you charge your phone with a spare jackfruit?
With a spare jackfruit?
Yes.
A jackfruit. That's like a meaty fruit, isn't it?
Yes.
I would think not, right?
I'm just asking. I don't know. For asking for a friend, they might.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Survival techniques are at a minimal right now. Yeah.
Well, I think you should use the jackfruit to survive for hunger. Maybe not to say for charging.
You know what? I was vegan for like 4.5 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on jackfruit. Like jackfruit was just the bane of my existence.
I feel like if it's how it's made, because for those who never had it, it's a quite smelly fruit when you open it up. Jackfruit, or like durian's the other term for it. It's quite a auspicious fruit. Yeah. Though, if you know how to use it, you can blend it with other items, and it could become something. Yeah. But I feel like straight up, it was kind of like.
One of those
but maybe that's why I asked. Maybe you can plug something in and maybe it can work to charge. Like they have like potatoes, like scientists. They charge. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
No, there's this like, I don't know if it's considered fast food, but it's like a healthy fast food place in London called Leon.
Okay.
That was the only place I could eat jackfruit. They did this like jackfruit cheese nugget. It was like vegan cheese, but it was like a cheesy jackfruit nugget.
Okay.
And it was just. It didn't taste of cheese, it didn't taste of jackfruit, but it did taste of goodness.
Okay. At least it was good in that sense. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Interesting. Okay, remember that for future. We're getting a lot of different topics here on These Are Questions. And I want to ask, could you, or actually specifically, how fast could you run a mile backwards.
Run a mile backwards. How
Yes.
fast can I run it forwards, darling? I'm gonna say like a good 20 minutes.
Okay. That's
I think that's like me trying very hard, like a little hardy pace going
yeah.
on.
I'll pull out my phone with my stopwatch there, and I'll just
Try it.
yeah, we'll
I'll
just
do
try
it
it there.
now.
We're just gonna go right in a segment there. We got a field outside. There's a field out in the area. We can run around, make it happen. Okay.
It's funny. I actually used to run track and field.
Same here, actually.
Yeah,
I hated it though.
Me too. My mom dropped me off, and mom did this to me.
Okay.
She wanted me to do extracurriculars outside of, entertainment, like go hang out with people your age for once and
Yeah,
whatnot.
then that's fair.
And I was like, as long as I don't have to run, she's like, yeah, you just have to do the field events. And she obviously knew I was going to have to run.
Yeah.
So she dropped me off, shut the door, and went off. She left me to join the track team to run. Yeah, I did grow to like it after that, but that was just because of my friends.
Oh, okay, well, I can respect that. That track and field is not an easy sport, one bit. Here's my quick track and field story. I've only did track and field for like less than 2 weeks at the time when I did it, and that's because I was assigned to do the hurdles.
I did.
I hated it, and I literally went through my first set of hurdles, and the first one was okay, but it was a higher one, and I went higher, and I tripped my leg over, and I face planted right on the concrete area, and I literally got up, I said, I'm done, and I just quit immediately.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I
was like,
completely
no.
get that. When I was doing 100 in middle school.
Yes.
When I got to high school, they added the 300 onto me. I don't know why they did that. They hated me. Must have. But I would always trip over the last hurdle, like in meets and everything. It was a known thing. Shanice, can you get over the last hurdle? Someone, like, there's tons of probably videos out there from my friends of just every track meet. I lost the 300-meter hurdle race. I was never a great runner. I just tripped over every last hurdle.
It happens. It happens. It happens. It's hard. It's way harder than it looks. Way harder than it
but
looks.
after every meet, we had ice cream, so that was great. It was worth the ice cream.
I didn't have ice cream. I just had just.
See, that's why you quit. They didn't give you ice cream.
No, I quit because I almost broke my leg. It happens. It happens here on These Are Shames. I mean, these are questions. So as we're going into our interview and we're getting towards the tail end of our interview, and this has been great so far, I want to switch back gears and more on the serious topics here, and I want to just ask you just a simple question. Where do you see yourself in the future?
I see myself continuing to be in this field.
Okay.
Specifically, I'd love to. My dream role is to be an X-Man. I'd love to be Rogue. So if that is the way that my career could progress, I've always been a Marvel super fan. Grew up with the comics, and I used to dye my hair like blue in the front, red in the front, because I wanted to be like my version of Rogue. I thought I was being so unique.
I kind of want to see this picture now. I want to see if okay, fair enough. I'll respect it. Okay, fair enough.
But you know what? Yeah, I hope that in one day I'll be able to become a Marvel superhero, specifically an X-Man or Rogue.
I could see it. I mean, never say never, honestly.
Yeah.
If you've made it on your publication so far from the independents and working your way to national projects, I don't see why not. It's just a matter of timing and divine connection and just getting your craft together, which you are doing that, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could see the next X-Man. You already have it in the name with Archer, too, Shanice. You already
Yeah.
have it. I mean, you could play around with that. Just thinking. And, we talked about like your history and what you've gone through in the acting realm and what you're continuing to do and your ideas for future. I want to ask about advice, and I want to ask specifically, what's a lasting piece of advice that resonates with you as you continue on into your acting journey?
Yeah. So I always think, continue to pound the paint even when the paint's pounded back, When your destination is cooling, don't be afraid to pick up and keep it on the line. It can always feel like sometimes things are maybe not happening or happening slowly.
Yeah.
But as long as you're doing the work, you're allowing yourself to be prepared in every opportunity that is thrown your way, given your way. There's not much more you can ask yourself, especially not in this industry where it's not your timing. It'll never be my timing. If it was my timing, I'd be Rogue right now. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's always important to remember why you do it.
Yeah.
Always important to maintain your love for it. And always important to pick up your cooling when it's on the phone and keep that on the phone.
very valid points and very valid advice, and I can somewhat relate to it as an actor myself and as a performer. And it's like you've been doing this your entire life so far, and you're continuing to do that. I've been doing it in the field for it's going to be 15 years coming up later in the season, actually. You could people will say like, oh, you're the overnight success. You've done all these great stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm the 15-year overnight success, or I'm the entire life success.
Yeah, especially as you mentioned, like, because I had been doing it my entire life. There was definitely moments where I was just like, oh, is this worth continuing for my entire life? Like, do I do it because I love it, or do I just not know anything else? And every single time, I couldn't hang up that phone. It was such a deep love and rooted passion of mine that's like, it's just something you cannot ignore.
Right.
So when it's something so true to your soul and true to who you are, I think you owe yourself to want to explore every avenue of that. And there's no one else that's going to live your life for you. You know what I mean? No one else is going to feel your failures, feel your disappointments. No one else can even feel your excitements in the same way as you are. So I think you owe it to yourself to truly, truly chase what you want with every part of your being. And you can never say you didn't try.
And I think that's the big point you just said. You never say you can never try. You never tried, because trying is half the battle.
Yes.
Whether it goes or not, if you tried, you can at least say to yourself, hey, I at least tried, instead of the what if.
Yeah.
And that's in anything in life.
Yeah.
Business, relationship, acting, performance, sometimes archery, I don't know.
Yeah.
But in all endeavors, that's what it is a what if. If at least you tried, you can say to yourself if it went well or if it didn't went well, but at least you can say to yourself you did it.
Exactly. I hate the what ifs.
Same here. I'm not a big what if person. I am a can do it and I'll make it happen person.
Exactly.
And same with you as well. This has been a great interview, and I really appreciate your time. I just have one more question to ask you here on These Are Questions, Shanice. And the question I want to ask you is, if you had to create your own award show, what would your award show be called, and what would the show be about?
Ooh, my own award show.
Yes.
You know what? I'm the first thought in my mind was about fish.
Okay.
Like, I would, a fish award show, the prettiest, the fastest, the most publicly noted. Like, I'm a big shark fan. I think that they should get more awards for being awesome and helping the ecosystem. Like, yeah, I know I'm a big dolphin hater. They can get, the most violent and overrated fish award.
Same with their football and their league at the moment up there. So I get it. There. No offense, I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan too, but it's a love-hate relationship.
It's hard.
But that's awesome. I wasn't expecting that answer, which is pretty cool because a lot of individuals don't realize the importance of our ecosystems and the environment, especially in our ocean waters and our fisheries. So
yes, I'm a big ocean advocate. I'm actually studying to be in environmental sciences at the moment. I'm getting a bachelor's degree in it.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You're a world-renowned actor. You're a Miami Heat dancer. You're studying ocean conservation and getting a bachelor's in environmental science. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. This is what I'm talking about. When something calls you, don't hang up the phone. I've always loved the environment, but I've always put acting first, and now I have an opportunity, especially with the advancement of online learning and remote learning, that I am able to chase my career as an actress and also my passion for the environment. So.
That's awesome, and I wish you all the best. You're welcome. Not just in your acting, but also in your education and academia. That's very important, and you're gonna do amazing. So
I appreciate it.
Awesome. And with that concludes our interview here on These Are Questions. Shanice, it's been great working with you and talking with you in today's interview session. I'm going to give the floor to you. Is there anything you want to talk about, promote, anything you want to discuss? The internet floor/camera is yours.
Well, first off, thank you so much for giving me the floor, and also just, having such thoughtful questions and such a thoughtful conversation with me. I do really appreciate it. You can always find future work of mine either, through my IMDb, or just connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram name is @itsessay. I do have a project coming out this year. I can't speak too much about it right now, but you will be seeing it on my Instagram later. So yeah, just keep in contact with me there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to put all of our information in the description down below for our viewers watching and our listeners listening on Spotify and / wherever you get your podcast, whatever you have a podcast, Spotify, wherever you get it. It's all going to be in the description down below. For those that are watching / listening, we always appreciate you watching and listening to the show as we're going forward in season 8 of These Are Questions. And with that, all I just have to say is that you have been watching / listening to These Are Questions. Have a good night, or good morning, or good afternoon. I don't know when you're watching the show. You could be watching this at like 6:45 London time.
Yeah, have a good everything.
Have a good everything. Thanks, man. Let's go.